and this will allow them to live and work better in any multicultural work or living situation.
I took the global studies trip to Indonesia. During the trip, we had the opportunity to talk and interact with Indonesian students to learn about Indonesian society, history, and geography. We also had a chance to participate in a wayang kulit performance. The trip expanded my knowledge about Indonesia, its culture, and its economic growth.
After learning GS, I learned that people are very different, and that's the inherent beauty of humankind.
Even if we're on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to our norms, beliefs, attitudes, and all 7 dimensions, we should still treat others with respect so that we ourselves will be respected too.
Okay, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who just walked in, again, we got to remind you, we see some of you strolling in. We got to emphasize, you have to make sure you capture the attendance record twice. Okay, so of course, for those of you, I think I got to just read this out here. Scan the QR code to go to the GSVT microsite and key in your TP email. After that, check your email for OTP and then key in the OTP. So again, for those of you who need to scan that QR code over there, please go ahead and scan the QR code. And again, for those of you who just walked in, we got to remind you, it's 2 times you got to take your attendance record. 1 is not enough. Okay, so once again, for this one, again, we're just going to remind you, scan the QR code to the GSVT microsite, key in the TP email, and check your email for the OTP, following which, key in the OTP. Okay, so of course, we're going to show you again because we understand, we've been informed that some of you still looking for the VR booking slot. So remember, scan this. There are limited sessions only. You will see a couple of locations you get to choose, but it's not all of them. Okay, there's only 1 location. You just have to choose the slot that you want, and then we'll confirm it for you. So once again, this is the venue function room outside of TCC EM 3237/1. All right, for those of you interested for the virtual reality. Okay, so again, ladies and gentlemen, as we've mentioned today, you go all the way to Vietnam. And again, you will learn not only about the country, also later on, you learn about the language. You'll also have a chance to learn about the economy and how businesses will help there, and as well as in Singapore. So what's the correlation between them? You'll also have a thematic lunch that Temasek Poly has prepared. And then afterwards, a IHL exchange. You will get to meet students also from Vietnam. And last but not least, there will be a cultural experience. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we will be going in with the countries very soon. And this slide, they just added in. I swear to you, I did not see this slide before, but they said, okay, for those of you, if you see any gaps, do help to fill it up. And very importantly, of course, if you do see a gap, just go ahead and fill that up. All right, so once again, Temasek Poly, my name is Ben, and I'll just be the one just giving you all the quick little housewarming here and there, and also to keep reminding you that you must have 2 attendance record, not 1 but 2. Okay, that's the most important thing. So we're going to have a Slido that's coming up. I believe this is the part where the Slido is going to come up. What do you want to learn about Vietnam? Okay, so scan the QR code over there. Let us know. What do you want to learn about Vietnam? Just join at slido.com, or you can always scan the QR code and put in the number #104479. Okay, so we see about 4 of you typing. We see culture. We see, well, okay, 1 word to describe Vietnamese, Vietnamese. We see fascinating. We see fur. We see, spy traps. Okay, we see history. So a lot of different answers there. So thank you for those of you contributing to it. Thank you very much. 1 of you put in our Slido code. That's quite cute, huh? Okay. We got some of you put language. Some of you put Chobu. Who's the guy? Chobu. You early in the morning. Chobu. Okay, and some of you put traditional clothes, iconic. We see as well coffee. Okay, coffee as well. We see nature. We see a couple of things. So many things I can't even keep up. Somebody asked how to pronounce that word. Okay, maybe someone will tell you later, because I also learned how to pronounce that word. Okay, somebody will tell you later, lah. Okay, because you have the thing going on. So we see infrastructure as well. So this is very important. Now we know what you want to learn about Vietnam. This is where, ladies and gentlemen, we need your help to take out your phones to scan the QR code. Remember, if you miss this one, then you miss your chance for a attendance taking lab. So for now, please whip out your phones. take the picture of that one or scan a QR code and take your attendance. We're going to leave that for about 5 minutes. Yeah, and 2 minutes. Okay, just 2 minutes will do. Okay. So again, we just want to remind everybody, please, at this point of time, scan your attendance. That's really important because otherwise you'll have waken up early in the morning for nothing. So again, please scan. All right, just in case some of you just stroll in, we see some people strolling in. Remember to scan that so that you'll capture your attendance. Okay. So again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you, again, if you haven't captured that, please go ahead and do so. All right, that's the attendance taking. I think we've got about a minute more and we will proceed on. So remember, okay, if you haven't scanned, we have to remind you again, because that's the reason why I'm here today. I'm going to be reminding you to take your attendance. All right, so there's the part where we ask that you keep your phone. We are not going to be very disciplined master about it. So it's really your integrity. But of course, we do ask that you keep your respect for the people later on, because some of them are coming, some of them are present later, and some of them are virtually present. So we do ask that you can be as respectful as you can, because just as much as you spend your time here, they also spending the time here as well. And I do understand there's a sort of like a time difference as well. So we're going to start with your Global Studies virtual trip right now, ladies and gentlemen. And really, if you can just do me one quick favor, because I'm getting off stage very soon. Because you are here and you have scanned and you seem so wonderful so far. Temasek Poly, give yourself a big round of applause, shall you? Just give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you, TP. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to bring you on the tour to Vietnam, I'm going to bring up a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the tour manager of the day, Syed Hashim.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you. Good morning, Temasek Poly. How are you doing today? Good. Hey, come on, lah. Okay, I'm going to ask the question again. Good morning, Temasek Poly. How are you? Wow, that's better. That's better. Okay, great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, because we can't bring you to Vietnam, we bring Vietnam to you. Okay. So what's happening today, as Benjamin has said, we have a series of programs that's lined up for you. We have curated everything specially for you. And question is, how come everybody is up there? Everyone's shy. I don't want to come here. I think the people at the top are more participative, correct or not? Correct. Yeah, okay. Well, today I'm going to dive in straight away. We have invited someone who is an expert in Vietnam. She is a local tour guide. She will be joining us virtually all the way from Vietnam. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite to you Miss Catherine. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning. Okay, we'll just do a quick check whether Catherine is able to hear us. Miss Catherine, are you able to hear us? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From Hanoi, from Vietnam.
Good morning, Catherine. I think the students here, there's about 600 of you. Can you all say good morning to Catherine? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear that?
I can hear their sound. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Catherine, I think we're very, very happy to have you join us, and also for you to take through with us a little bit about introducing Vietnam to all of us.
Yeah, sure. It's my pleasure to introduce about our country to you. And you see, actually the pandemic is over. It's still, we need to put some attention on COVID, but actually the daily life is like normal, like before the COVID came into Vietnam. Then now everyone, the street will be full of people. Everyone go out. Nobody stay at home anymore, and the economy is like a picked up, and everyone has job, have time, have chance to get to work and earn money. Then children and student is going to school, and I just want to say that everything is back to normal.
Yeah, I think it's the same as Singapore as well. I think a few months ago, we have lifted the restrictions for mask wearing. And I think that is a very good indicator that we have moved on from the pandemic. And, we're living in the endemic period right now.
Yes. still in the period, but we have a new way to deal with COVID, and we can, yeah, like that. And
Okay.
actually now, if you come to Vietnam, wearing mask sometimes is not compulsory. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then yeah, look at the pictures in the screen. You see, it's the loss of traffic, right?
Yeah, I see a lot of motorbikes in Vietnam. Is that a very common sight in Vietnam?
Yeah, it's true. You see, the motorbike is something like the main mean of transport in Vietnam, and it's very convenient that the local use it every day. Even they travel for 500 meters, still travel by motorbike. And you cannot imagine that the motorbike is so practical for the whole family of 2 parents and 2 small kids traveling together in one motorbike. And actually, the motorbike is like used everywhere and by everyone in Vietnam, even country or city or mountainous area or beachside, everywhere.
Well, I see in Vietnam, people do not wear helmets when they're riding motorbikes. Is that a common scene as well?
No, actually, the prime minister, the government is forced everyone to wear helmets, but sometimes they break the rules, you know. And one of the Singaporean came to Vietnam and he lived here for a few years, and he say the traffic in Vietnam is no rule, and actually no rule is rules.
Yes, so
Okay.
just to share with everyone here, yeah, just to show of how many of you have been to Vietnam? Raise up your hands. Just raise up your hands, yeah? Well, I've had the chance to be in Vietnam as well in 2019. One of the challenges, and I think one of the most interesting about in Vietnam is when you cross the road. Am I correct? The people who raise your hand, when you cross the road, you have to be very courageous because the vehicles won't stop for you. You just have to cross. And hopefully no one langgar you. Yeah. Am I right, Miss Catherine? When you just have to cross
it's
the road
true.
very
It's true.
carefully.
In Vietnam like that. Then you just keep going on your way, then the car, motorbike will try to avoid you. No worry. But walk slowly, don't run.
Of course. All right. Can you share a bit about the geography of Vietnam, please, with us?
Okay. Do you know where is Vietnam? Actually, Vietnam is one of the country in the Southeast Asia, and it's about like a 2-hour flight from Singapore to the biggest city of Vietnam. And in the north, we share the border with China. In the south west, we share the border with Cambodia, and in the west with Laos. We call Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia as like Indochina. Then in the east of Vietnam is a sea. We call it sea.
So there is 3 main areas in Vietnam. There is Hanoi, there is the central area, as well as Ho Chi Minh at the bottom. I see. So
Yeah,
the blue,
you see
the blue
yeah,
section, that is Da Nang.
yeah. In Vietnam, we can divide into 3 regions. The north part, the central part. You see the blue one is the central part of Vietnam, and the southern part of Vietnam. Then there are 3 parts: the cultural, the cuisine, and the weather is slightly different. Yeah, the red part here is in the north of Vietnam. And do you know okay, about can you guess what is like economy in Vietnam now? Well, Vietnam, what is they famous for?
Okay, let me ask the students. Does anybody know, just a quick shout out, what is Vietnam known for in their economy? Come on, I'm pretty sure you guys are very smart enough to know this. Anyone? They are very shy this morning. I know why. You haven't had breakfast,
Okay.
correct? No?
Okay, it's fine. Actually, Vietnam is famous for like agricultural product. Like we are top exporter for rice, pepper, coffee, and beside that, we do manufacture lots of things like electric car. One of the famous, the second large electric car producer is from Vietnam, and the owner is Vietnamese. And beside that, Vietnam has one of the big airlines, low-cost carrier named Vietjet Air. Is a Vietnamese brand as well. And Vietnam is famous for, beside the agricultural product, we are famous for textile or shoes as well. Then we do produce for many top brands in the world like Nike, Adidas, or something like that. Yeah, then lots of people, when they come to Vietnam, they look for like a textile product or shoes, and they buy it before they going back to their country.
All right. Okay. Let's speak about the pop culture. What is like the, maybe Miss Catherine, you can share like what is the culture and the scene in Vietnam right now?
Actually, beside about the pop and the culture, Vietnam, we have a very the music in Vietnam, is very good. But before we go with that, I want to share you a little bit about the coffee in Vietnam. You know who is the first people bring the coffee into Vietnam? It's the French. They came here and they brought here in 1857. Then in front of me here, this one is the coffee filter. I put some coffee powder in here. Then I will show you how the coffee is dripping by this way. And the French I just pour the hot water in here. And you see the French came here. They brought the coffee plant, and then they try to grow in the whole Vietnam from north to south. And now the Central Highland of Vietnam is become like the biggest area where we produce coffee. And you can just see here, the coffee is dripping out. I just pour the hot water in there on top of the filter with the coffee inside. Then in the Vietnamese people, we drink coffee with condensed milk and with ice or without ice. It depends on the taste.
It's good news, man. Always the good news every day, man. Fellas still stuck in the pandemic, live streaming.
Hello?
Oh, who's that? The Marxist boy. Was that really? Oh.
I think we were intercepted by Decepticons.
Okay.
Still going on online. Okay.
All right, we can just continue. Just a show of hands. How many of you here enjoy drinking coffee? Just a show of hands. You enjoy. You die in the morning. You gotta have your coffee. If not, you'll be a zombie. Okay. Just to share with you, have you tried Vietnamese coffee? No. All right. If you have not tried Vietnamese coffee, you have to try. It is strong. It is robust, but because of the condensed milk as well, it balances with the sweetness of the coffee. So you can enjoy a strong and a sweet coffee. Because
in fact, when you come to Vietnam, you will see the cafe everywhere, even the very small alley or the big building coffee. The cafe shop is
But some of
everywhere.
the speakers still remote that. Like this one. Yeah, because this is hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but Mr. Vishnu still speaking. Then I don't know what is happening here.
it's okay. We can just continue, Miss Catherine.
No.
Can we go to the next slide, please? Let's speak about
Yeah.
music in Vietnam.
Yeah, actually, the pop music is very popular, or even rock music, and the young generation of Vietnam, they love music, or even the local, the older people, we do love music as well. And there are lots of famous music band in Vietnam, like The War is a very rock band music, and the members are students. They were studying at the Hanoi Construction University, and they formed this band, and it's more than 20 years now, right? And their song is still very famous and loved by the young student now. And beside that, we do have some other band like a 365 band. It's the band of very handsome boy. And of course, we have lots of like a famous singer like Ho Ngọc Hà, Mỹ Tâm, Đức Phúc. They are very famous and loved by the student very much. And you see, Mỹ Tâm just do like a live for and can get attraction of about 30,000 people coming to the meeting stadium few days ago.
Well, what about K-pop? Is it popular in Vietnam? Because K-pop has taken the world by storm. Is it a popular genre in Vietnam?
Yeah, if you see the K-pop, it's like a trend in the whole Asia, and Vietnam is the same. The young Vietnamese students do love K-pop as well, and besides that, we do love the Korean cuisine. It's normal because they are very good at spreading their culture through movies, right?
All right, and that's a bit about what the culture is about in Vietnam. Now is the chance for you to whip out your phones, everybody, because we are going to ask you a question. Are you able to see the question on the screen? I'm going to read it out to you as well, okay? So there is a QR code. Just whip out your phone, and then you will be able to go to Slido. With this question is, what is the biggest electric car producer in Vietnam? Is it Tesla, VinFast, or Nanduk? Let's see your answers, everybody. Are we ready to show the answers? Ready? Okay. Well, it's live. Some of you say Tesla. Okay. No problem. 45% of you says VinFast. Miss Catherine, is that correct?
Yes, totally correct. VinFast is one of the electric car producer. Then the owner is Vietnam, and that companies belong to Vingroup. That's why they have the brand VinFast.
All right, next question for Slido we have is, what are the agricultural products that Vietnam is famous for? If you are paying attention to this, you will know the answer. Is it coffee, rice, pepper, coffee, coconut, pineapple, rice, barley, and chili sauce? Some of the commodities that are traded in Vietnam, globally as well. All right.
And the southern part of Vietnam is famous for coconut as
I think
well.
everybody got the answer correct. Am I correct, Miss Catherine? It's coffee, rice, and pepper.
Wow, amazing. They just great answer.
96%, well done.
Yeah.
All right, this is a wild guess because we did not speak about this, but you should maybe just, get a wild guess on this. The next question is, what is the favorite sport of Vietnam? Is it handball, basketball, or soccer?
Wow, very interesting question. And whenever the national team win, the street will be full of people. We are like a big fan of this sport.
44% of you says is handball. The correct answer is soccer. Oh, now you change. That's very smart. Huh? You all change. Yeah. All right. Next question. What is the main means of transportation in Vietnam? Number 1, cars. Number 2, bicycles. Number 3, motorcycle. We spoke about this very early in the country introduction. I'm pretty sure you know the answer. 98% of you says it's motorcycle. That's correct. That's the correct answer.
Yes.
Well done,
Great
everybody.
answer. Yeah.
Okay, Miss Catherine, I think it's time for us to speak about Saigon. And I think we're very excited to hear from you about Saigon.
Wow. Okay. Do you know where's in Saigon and why in fact, the local people, we do call this city Ho Chi Minh City. Then can you guess why there are two names for the city?
Well, I know the answer, but right now I think is an opportunity for me to ask the audience. Can I ask the audience? Okay, where are the student helpers? Can you raise up your hand, please? Student helpers? All right. We have microphones, am I correct? Okay. Now, throughout the day, we have prizes for you. Okay. So all you got to do is very simply answer the question. Does anybody know why Saigon also has another name? The question is why Saigon is also known as Ho Chi Minh City. Just raise up your hand and then we'll come to you. The prize is going, yes, never say the prize.
In 1975, a war happened.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yes, in 1975, a war happened.
Very good. You take out your phone again, you will see the answer.
No.
All right. Is that correct? In 1975, a war happened.
Yeah, that is a milestone. Very good answer.
Thank you very
And,
much. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much. That's the
Thank
way.
you.
Okay.
Okay, and in fact, Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City is the biggest city of Vietnam and located in the south, in the southern part of Vietnam. Then, okay, we can just start when it's about like a 1.5 hour flight from Singapore, and we do have the same kind of weather like in Singapore, right? Yeah. Then when we come into Ho Chi Minh City, you should come to see the post office. This one is like one of the most iconic tourist destination in Ho Chi Minh City right now. And actually the post office is like a wonderful place to marvel at the extraordinary colonial architecture. Why? Because this post office was constructed by the French during the colonial period in the within the time from 1886 to 1891. Then you can just display the video, right? Yeah, you see Ho Chi Minh City in the south of Vietnam. Yeah, the biggest city of Vietnam. Then Saigon Post Office is the place that we come to see now. And it is very old post office, but still in service now. And you see, the post office fish, you see the outside, the yellow color, and the window, and very big, a clock in front of you. Yeah, that one is still like in the service right now. Then when we come into the post office, you will see the dome. Yeah, it's like called dome. And you will see the old booth. Yeah, the wooden old booth, telephone booth, and even the painting on the wood still original one. And the old glue pot to place the stamp on the envelope still there. Yeah, you see here. And and in front of you, it's like a curved dome, and the landmark inside the building that betrays its true location is a large portrait of Ho Chi Minh at the end of the hall. Then in 1975, when Vietnam win the war, we just changed the name Saigon to Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay. So in 1975, the name was changed from Saigon to Ho Chi Minh City.
Yes, right. That's why that student just gave very good answer, correct milestone.
But in Vietnam, do you refer it as Saigon or do you refer it to Ho Chi Minh City?
In fact, we do use both names, and the local people, they use Saigon like a short term, but some people still want to say that Ho Chi Minh City. But the local people around that area, when they take the car into Ho Chi Minh City or somebody asks them, where do you go? They can just say, I come to the city. City here refer to Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City as well.
I see.
Because that one is
I
like
see.
the biggest city in Vietnam and in the area.
I see. Okay. Now we got the next slide. We speak about the Khao Dai Temple. There's something interesting that I think you're going to share.
Okay, but before we go to see the Khao Dai temples, I just want to ask you a question. What is the main religion in Singapore?
Well, in Singapore, the main religion, maybe I ask you, y'all are way much smarter than me. What is the main religion or majority religion in Singapore? Does anyone have the answer? Raise up your hands and student helpers will come to you. You can, level 4 people also, I know y'all are the best, right? Main religion or majority religion. Okay, we got somebody there, thank you.
Buddhism. The religion are mainly mixed
Buddhism.
by British,
Okay, one by one, sorry, we got level 4. Can we go with the gentleman over there?
Buddhism.
Buddhism, and your answer, sir, brother?
Hmm,
Christianity,
Buddhism,
all right. The answer,
Christianity. Yeah,
okay,
I
what?
got your answer.
Yes, okay. So I think if I'm not mistaken, Buddhism and Christianity is one of the major religions, in the
Atheist.
majority religions in Singapore.
Atheist.
Mm.
Who said that? Huh?
And yeah, and how about in Vietnam? Why the Vietnamese people, we declare ourselves as non-religion, but we
Okay.
do follow some like kind of religion, spirit, or something like that. And actually, you know, about Khao Dai, Khao Daism is about the second large religion in Vietnam. But in Vietnam, we declare ourselves about 85% are non-religion.
So 85% non-religious.
Yes, and
I
there
see.
are very few people are Buddhism, few people are Khao Dainism, few people are Christianity, Protestant, Hinduism, Muslim, and even Confucianism or Taoism. Lots of religion in Vietnam. And Khao Dai Temple is like the second large group. People. Yeah, now we just spend some time to come to see the Khao Dai Temple. And in Vietnam, Khao Dai, it means like it's just a high tower. And Khao Daism is a religion combining of Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Confucianism, Confucius, and Taoism. Yeah, you see, come into the inside. We enter into the inside. We see that both inside and outside are beautifully and colorfully decorated. And you will see lots of dragon symbol on the column, right? And there are some incorporating symbols as well, abstract design as well. And the people who are wearing like a white robe. And there are like 4 mass per day, 6 a.m. at noontime, 6 p.m. and at midnight. And the female and the male are sitting on different sides. And you will see different dragon patterns on the column like this. They have different color like black or blue or red. It's like they are very beautifully decorated. And the head of Khao Dai is in Tây Ninh province. And in fact, the philosophy of Khao Daism practitioner is to perform faithfully to ourselves, to our family, our society, and to the world at large. Then when we come into the temple like this, you will see very big eye and like a planet that in the photo show you.
Okay, that's a bit about the Khao Dai Temple. We're gonna go now to the north, okay? So we were in Ho Chi Minh City, and now we're gonna go to the north, which is in Hanoi. And in Hanoi, you will find this very interesting and historical place called the Cu Chi Tunnels, okay? We have a Slido. That's for you.
Actually, Củ Chi Tunnel is in the south
Oh, I'm so
of
sorry.
Vietnam.
Yes, it's still in Ho Chi Minh. Yes,
Yeah,
it's still in
yeah,
Ho Chi
right.
Minh.
Yeah.
My
Then
bad. It's about
it's
2 hours
about-
drive away from the main Ho Chi Minh city. Okay, so all
True,
you gotta do
from
is
the
just
city
research
center.
one interesting fact about Củ Chi Tunnel. All right. So
And
when you share in Slido, could you please put your real name, as in your name, underscore your tutorial group, because everybody is appearing as anonymous. Some of you say it's historical. Some of you say soldiers used to crawl through those tunnels back then during the Vietnam War. That's correct. It is a network of tunnels. Okay, very interesting question, very interesting answers you have. All right, let's go to the next slide, please. You're right. So we're gonna go to the Củ Chi tunnels, and we have Miss Catherine once again to share with us a bit about the Củ Chi tunnels.
Yeah, and Củ Chi Tunnels is about 2-hour drive from Ho Chi Minh City, but it's actually just like a 60 kilometers from Ho Chi Minh City. And you can combine with the trip to see Tây Ninh, Khao Đài, where the Khao Đài temple is located in a day. Then here you see, this one is like the map of the whole complex. This complex is about 250 kilometers long, and some tunnels going into the Saigon River. And there are 3 layers. The first layer is about 3 meters deep. Yeah. When you come into this one, you will go through the small, tunnel like this. This one in front of you is one of the house in Củ Chi Tunnels area. And in this area, we use the coconut leaf to cover the roof. Yeah. Then this place we call like a smokeless kitchen. Why? Củ Chi Tunnel actually is just the place where the soldier living there, they cook there. It's a hospital as well, school as well. Then in order to keep the soldiers safe, when we cook, we need to use the kind of kitchen named smokeless. It means when you cook here, the smoke goes somewhere that the enemy cannot define where you are at that time.
Yes, I remember when I was in when I was at the Củ Chi tunnel, the guide was explaining to me. So just for you to imagine, okay, everybody, imagine you're cooking here, but the smoke exits 1 to 2 kilometers away. That is how amazing the engineering was for them to be able to not be detected by the American forces. So the Vietnamese soldiers, the way they did it was they were using the tunnels for them to be able to operate like what Miss Catherine said, like there's a school, there's a hospital there. And I think, Catherine, this is one of the tunnel entrances, am I correct?
Yeah, it's right. This one, and you see the wooden door, but the size to enter the door is very small, smaller than the current size. Then that only fits the Vietnamese people. And the wooden door is often covered by the lid. Then the other people, if they don't know where the door located, they cannot recognize that here's a door there, and you can come inside the tunnel there. Then we build like a lot of door like that. You can show up here and disappear from here, but show up in the other door.
So, Catherine, am I
And
correct
actually-
to say that this
Yeah.
size of the opening of the tunnel, this has actually been enlarged for tourists because it used to be smaller back in the war? Am I correct?
It's
to say that?
true. Yeah, it's true. The size that you see in the video is bigger than the current size the size in the past for the local people, for the Vietnamese soldier. And when you come here, you see like the old tank still there, or this place display like an area to show you how after the fighting, what they do, they can just write poem, write letter to send to the family, or they can like chit chat together, or they do some other thing. This one, you see, we just use the bombshell to make our own weapon, because actually during the war, the Vietnamese soldier is not like well equipped by the Yupon, then we just make it ourselves. You see the bombshell here. Yeah. And here they just display what was going on in the past. They just cut the bombshell to get the thing inside. And even the women still do something suitable for them. And in Cu Chi tunnels, you can see many kind of trap over there. Then why we have a lot of trap like this? It's just to make the enemy fear, right?
All right. Before we go to the next segment, we have a word cross. I just want to share with you. For those of you who are unfamiliar to the Cu Chi tunnels, it is a very historical place, and that is where it was significant that the American soldiers actually lost to the Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and it was because of the way the Cu Chi tunnels were designed and the way the traps were designed, the way they operated the Cu Chi tunnels. All right, next up we have the word cross, and we just want you to guess where we are heading next. So unscramble the words. You have 3 minutes. All you got to do is use the first letter of every word to form where you're going next. Let's see if anybody can guess this correctly. Are you able to see the words on the screen, everybody? Is it too small? Okay, let's go with number 1, which is all the way to your left, which goes down. It is a name that is common in the Chinese community. And in Vietnamese, it means intelligent and beautiful. Just make a guess. All right, number 2 is, you can find people ride motorbikes more here than anywhere in the world. Number 3, across, a playground for adventurers and an oasis for nature lovers. Vietnam's first capital was established here. Number 3. Number 4 is known for its emerald waters and thousands of towering limestone islands topped by rainforests. And number 5, Ho Chi Minh City is the newer name, but Saigon is an, I think you know the answer. It says their older name. Can we show the answers, please? So, if we gather all the first alphabets of the crosswords, N-O-R-T-H, we are going north. So earlier on, we were talking about Ho Chi Minh City, all right, which is in the south of Vietnam. We're now going to take you up to the north. Miss Catherine,
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the north. I'm in the north right now. And actually from Ho Chi Minh City to the north of to Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, it takes you about 2 hours flight. Vietnam is small but very long country. Okay, then I think you have breakfast already, right? Then just want to show you a little bit about the street food. And for me, the street food in Vietnam is one of the highlight of Vietnamese tourism here. And yeah, this place, do you know the former president Barack Obama? He came here with Antonin Vuc Dang, right? To try to taste the specialties of Hanoi, we call bún chả. Then when you come to this restaurant, this one is exactly the place he came. And you can, now they are selling the set named Obama set. Then an Obama set, including few things like a bún chả, low Hanoi beer, some crab, spring roll, yes, like that. Then if you have chance to come here, you can just come and try. And why bún chả? Bún chả is the kind of food of the local people here, that including the grilled pork meat served together with the fish sauce and some minced garlic, pepper. If you eat something spicy, you can add some chili and vermicelli. Yeah, that's a kind of rice noodle and herbs like this. Then you can just mix up and then eat together. Here is like a crab roll. Then I did order Obama set like this. Then now I just want to show you a trend cafe. We call it like this one. You know Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
This cafe, yeah, it's like a Harry Potter theme cafe. Then you can come here. They design decoration. They do have some kind of clothes, some kind of souvenir based on the Harry Potter book movie. Then you can try on some kind of clothes. You will be like a Gryffindor house or from other house as well. And in this place, you can order some kind of drink, like a poison potion or something like that. It's similar to the drink in the Harry Potter story. I mean, just the name, they use the name to put for the drink. And yeah, one of the drink. This one is like a poison potion. But I try egg coffee. I tried this one is egg coffee. And you see, egg coffee is, we are the country of coffee, right? And we just get the yolk part of the egg, make it creamy together with sugar, condensed milk, then will become the texture like this, very light, but very creamy and very tasty. Then we pour on top of the coffee, and then when you drink, you just mix it up and then you drink. And this one is why we use egg to put into the coffee. Can you just stop here for a while? I just want to explain a little bit. Yeah, why we put egg into the coffee, you know, because in 1946, at that time, the French still in the north of Vietnam, then it's very hard to find milk to put into the coffee. Then a bartender named Zhang, he just think that we can make the egg yolk into the creamy texture and then put into the coffee, then that become the famous drink in the north of Vietnam, especially in Hanoi. Then when you come here, you should try it.
That's right. So folks, when you are in Hanoi, one thing you definitely have to try, as Miss Catherine said, is egg coffee. So basically you have coffee, but you put only the egg yolk in it, and it forms a very creamy texture. So I tried it before. It is very unique and interesting and very tasty.
And you see in the movie, it's bánh mì. Bánh mì is a kind of street food that we eat every day at any time of the day, even breakfast or lunch or dinner or at the midday. And anytime you want to eat something, you can order bánh mì. And bánh mì, the French, they bring the baguette into the Vietnam, but we mix with our culture to make the bánh mì in this style, and that's very famous in Vietnam right now.
All right, I think one of the last destinations that we are taking you in Vietnam, just a very quick country introduction, is the Temple of Literature.
Okay, then we just spend some time to have a look at the video. And the Temple of Literature is in the north of Vietnam, in Hanoi, right in the city center. Then this one is like the first university of Vietnam. Then just spend some time to have a look.
1070, and then they finished in 1076. This was the first university in Vietnam. You can go inside here and then you'll see that they have about 3 different sections in this area. First one you can see that one is the same with we are staying in the waiting area, and after that we go to see about the examination, and after this you go to the school area. That be the 3 main one. When you go inside here, this temple also the same for all of the temples for all around Vietnam. You always see about 3 different entrances. The most important one will be in the middle. That one that used to be only for the king, the queen, and that means that only for the royal family can go in the middle of that one. On the right, they often open for the generals or someone very important one. And on the left-hand side, everybody can go. And a lot of people also can do like that one. Maybe they go inside on the right and go outside on the left-hand side. We have the story like that one, why they have the cap and the jars of the wine, Vietnamese sake or something like that one. Why they have that? Because they have the story in Vietnam. Once upon a time, at that time, you know that the Jay Emperor has all cap animals. Whoever can jump over the 3 golden gates, we become the dragon. So all cap animals, they try to go there, but jump several times and then running away. Only the cap jump again, and again. And finally, but only the cap can jump over that and become the dragon. That one.
All right, that's a bit about the Temple of Literature. I hope you managed to hear what the virtual tour guide was saying, because we have questions for you later on. But right now, we're bringing you to one of the world's famous destination in Vietnam, which is Ha Long Bay.
Yes, and Ha Long Bay is up north of Vietnam, sharing the border with China, and it's about like a 3.5-hour drive from Hanoi. In Ha Long Bay is in Quảng Ninh province. Quảng Ninh province is sharing the border with China. And just spend the time, have a look at the video, and maybe you can answer me why this place has the name Ha Long. Yeah, you see, in the Tonkin Gulf is the place. And in this area, there are 3 bays. Okay, how do you feel about Ha Long Bay, and can you guess why this place has the name Ha Long?
Yeah, I think we showed the text on the screen. If you saw the lower thirds, it was saying descending dragon. You guys capture that just now? Yeah. Okay, but before we speak about the Ha Long Bay, we just want to remind you as well that the VR booking is now open, okay? So you can now whip out your phones and do your VR booking. The slots are now open. Okay, so the VR booking, the VR session will be at TCC room EN 32-3-7/1. If you want to know better, right, just take out your phone, take the picture. Okay, so scan a QR code and you'll be brought to the GSVT microsite, key in your TP email and check your email for the OTP and key in the OTP. Okay. Shall we go to the next slide? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the country introduction. Yeah, but before we depart, Miss Catherine, I think she did a wonderful job. She's joining us all the way from Hanoi. So Temasek Poly, can we all give her a big round of applause, please?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, Miss Catherine, I think they enjoyed. You guys enjoy the session? All right. If you're excited to know more about Vietnam, stay and stick around because what's going to happen right after this is your language session. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be taking a very short break. I'm going to bring back your MC for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Benjamin Liao.
All right, so Temasek Poly gives Zion a big round of applause, and especially to Miss Cat, once again, give her a big round of applause. All right. So of course, Temasek Poly, this is the part where we just need your help, okay? Because you know, the people that have told us that they look a bit sleepy, huh? So we need your help. We're gonna send you for a break, but before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I just need your help. Everybody, can you put both hands up in the air, please? Everybody, put both hands up in the air. This is what you're gonna do. Use your left hand and look at the person to your left. Can you just give the person a high five, can or not? Just high five the person lah. Okay, just high five lah. That's all. That's all. Now, everybody put your hands up in the air and on your right hand, I need you to turn to the person to your right and massage the person's shoulder, can or not? Squeeze harder lah. Wake the person up. Now, last thing for me, Temasek Poly, everybody put your hands up in the air. And if the person in front of you is opposite gender, be very nice about this. But can you just slap their shoulder and say, hey, wake up lah. Yeah, can you do that now? Just tell them, wake up lah. Hey. Yeah. Don't take this chance to molest the shoulder. All right. So Temasek Poly, we're going to be sending you for your break at this point of time. As you can see there, be back by 10:30 a.m. Okay, you got about 10 to 15 minutes of break. You got to be back here before we go on to learning the language. Okay, so Temasek Poly, now as you walk towards the exit, very importantly, we got the volunteers in the black t-shirt, red lanyard. When they ring the bell, like butler service, that means you have to come back. Okay, when will the next attendance record QR code show? Actually, I also don't know because they are randomly inserting it. So remember, if you hear the bell, that's actually time to come back. This is the part where if you want to stand up and exit, you may, yeah, because this is break time. Okay, so Temasek Poly, please make your way for your break now. And very importantly, as you're doing so, remember, if you hear the bell, okay, that means it is time to return back to this place. All right, so Temasek Poly, please make your way for your little break and whatnot. Get a little drink, coffee, Milo, teh peng, and whatnot. Okay, and remember, once you hear the bell, all right, it's a butler service to remind you to be back here, okay? Because your next segment will be learning about language. So TP, we'll see you very soon.
Hello, Miss Trung. Miss Trung, can you hear me, Miss Trung? Wait, wait, Miss Trung, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you?
Okay, very good. Can you share?
Oh, share my screen. Want me to share my screen like this? Yeah.
Okay, can you open up your camera because we are doing a different thing. So this one have a different video kind of feel.
Oh, okay. Like this.
All right, thank you. Okay, and then you can share. Thank you, Miss Trung.
Okay, I can share my screen, right? Here it is. Here it is.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Oh, good, right?
Can you open the slideshow, please? Oh, no. Yes, thank you very much, Miss Trang.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Thank you. I will show you what's happening here.
Okay. So,
Just keep on sharing.
wow.
Just keep on sharing. Do not off it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Turn on sharing. So normally I thought that there would be a kind of like a travel instructor, I would say.
I
Would it
will
be
show
very
you what's
cool?
happening in the screen. Okay, I'm gonna message you, and you'll see this is a bit of a different thing.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why it's a bit different. Hi, Miss Trang. I message you. Can you see whether it's the one that you're seeing now?
oh yes, yes. I can see my slide, and whenever I change anything, it does show up.
Ah, yes, that's great.
Yes, yes, yes. Because here I also see you like in color one, not color one, right? And I see like small screen. in changing stuff. Oh, hey, new technology, I see. Well, like I would be the first. I like normal.
Okay, thank you, Miss Strang. You can go to the first slide, and then after that, we will introduce you in about 5 minutes. You can see the students coming in. Yeah, then about 5-6 minutes, they already come.
Ooh, okay, okay.
You can see the students, right?
Yeah,
They're
they're
not-
very small, but I can see them. I can see them.
Yeah, wait, you can actually see me also if I walk there. Let me see, you can see me.
No, I don't think I can. Next time wear something bright green, for
Wait, wait, wait.
example.
Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah. Can you see me, right?
Oh, yeah, 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 I can see you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
okay.
okay.
Thank you very much. So please do wait for a few minutes. We're gonna start in soon. Thank you so much for your patience, and we will come back in, we'll introduce you.
All right. Good morning once again. We're still in the morning. So, TP, we're going to be going on the second segment very soon. That's the language part. So again, thank you for all of you being early. Of course, we'd like to thank our people in the black t-shirt, red lanyard as well for ringing the bell. Okay, so we're going to have our next segment. This one's going to be a bit more interactive because it involves you trying to learn and replicate either the sound, the pronunciation, the enunciation, and all that. Now, you'll also have a chance to perhaps even look at the person to your left or right and try it out as well. It's actually all part of the language session that's coming up. And then, when can you use the language? Now, you can use it among yourself, or you can also wait till about 1:30 for the IHL exchange to happen. When you meet the people from Vietnam, you can actually just, share something. And in return, you can also share some Singlish with them or what you like. Okay, so it's sort of like an exchange. Tell them how life in TP is like. And again, if you pick up certain phrases in Vietnamese later, you might be able to do just that. Okay, so we're just gonna, I think, wait for about 10 more seconds. I think some of you are still strolling in from washroom and whatever munching break you have. Again, we will be starting your language session very soon. We have, again, someone who is situated in Vietnam, who is here online to tell you more about the language, to teach you and guide you as well. So again, TP, we do urge that your participation is much needed for this session. Again, if you're too shy, we're not going to pass you the microphone and say, can you say good morning in Vietnamese? We're not going to do that. You're going to do that among your friends as well. Okay, good morning, 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 morning. Wow, very cool people, no? Morning, hey, coolest guy. Anyway, morning. I hate Captain America, but it's okay. Iron Man. Anyway, so we also want to remind all of you, if you want to play with the microphone, can say nicer things, not. Don't say all the naughty things. It's captured on online. So be at your best behavior. Yeah, that's what I want to remind you about. So again, we are going to be learning. As you can see, it's learning with Miss Trang. We're going to be bringing up Miss Trang very shortly. We're also going to be bringing back Zayed very shortly. But as always, my job here is to make sure everybody is as awake as possible. And watermelon juice, never buy for me. Okay, well, they're walking. Hello, hello. Wow, Milo Ping. Wow, nice mask. Don't need to laugh. Cannot see lah. Got old mask. I cannot see you laughing. Okay. All right, so Temasek Poly, we're going to be starting your next session right now. I'm going to be bringing back Zayed very shortly. But again, okay, we're going to be reminding you this part is going to be interactive, okay? It's going to be about you learning. On green tea, I also like green tea. So I get distracted very easily, when people walk past. What is that? Waffle, bread? Oh, I don't need, it's okay. COVID, cannot share. Okay. Well, I never talked to you. You all run so fast. What? Okay, mind. Nice checkered pants. Converse shoes also. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're trying to get there as much as them. Do we, yeah? Okay. Sorry, I need to ask you to faster. They give me the signal like this. Behind the scene signal. So faster. Faster, Okay, so we're going to be starting our language session right now. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me to welcome back Zayed Hashim. And also later on, again, we're going to be reminding you, you're going to be very engaged in this. So, Zayed, tell them more. What are you going to be learning?
All right, everybody. I hope you had a very good short break. And thank you, Benjamin, for bringing everybody back in. While you guys are strolling back in, please settle down in your seats because this next segment, we have a language teacher all the way from Vietnam. So for this session, I will be joining you because I will also be learning the language together with you. All right, so please settle in, everybody. I'm going to be sitting here, right here with you. All right. Are we good to start, everybody? Yeah? All right, just a reminder, please keep your phones unless necessary, because for the next 45 minutes, okay, we have somebody all the way from Vietnam joining us virtually. Please welcome everybody. Give your hands a big round of applause for Miss Trang. Good morning. Xin chào, Miss Trang.
Good morning. Chào cả nhà. Hello everyone. Wow, such a great introduction by both of you, Anthony and Mike. So how are you guys over there?
We're doing good. We had a very quick introduction about the country by a tour guide earlier on, but I think we're very excited right now to learn from you the language that the Vietnamese people speak.
Yes, okay, so I'm very honored. Wow, very honored and very excited today to be able to help you with some basic phrases, so which are also very helpful in daily life. Yeah. So are you ready?
I think we are ready. Well, we have some students just walking in, but we can start, please.
Okay. Okay, so doing that, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. So again, my name is Chang. Chang. Okay, so my name is Chang. I am from Hanoi, Vietnam, and I am a language instructor for the Vietnamese language. Yeah, Vietnamese language. Today, I'm going to walk you through some basic phrases of the Vietnamese language, which is tiếng Việt. Tiếng Việt would mean Vietnamese language. Tiếng Việt. Tiếng Việt. Okay, so I hope you all today going to be paying attention and going to be joining some interactive activities because we have tons of them today. Of course, we need to practice. Now, before we start, I would like to talk a little bit about map. Yeah, map. So here are the three main regions of the Vietnam country. The first one is the northern region, the central region, and finally we have the southern region. So the reason why I brought all of these back again, you probably have learned this from our wonderful previous tour guide, but I want to point this out again because as I stated, I'm from Hanoi, so I speak the northern dialect. So I would need to point this out in case you talk to another Vietnamese and you find that, this is a little different from what Miss Chang has taught me. Or perhaps it's because of dialects. But nevertheless, we Vietnamese, no matter which region we are from, we all understand each other. Just the minor differences. Yeah? So I'm from the north. I speak the northern dialect. Without further ado, let's start with the first thing, the outline. Today, we are going to look into the ways we greet other people when we first meet them, how to say thanks when we are grateful for someone's help and assistance. And of course, there are times when we need to apologize. And after all that, we're going to learn a short sentence of self-introduction. Now, first part, how to greet. The most common way of saying hello, generally to other people, you might have heard of this one. It is xin chào. Xin chào. Xin chào. So right after that, I would like you to practice xin chào. So everyone there, let's all practice saying xin chào to this girl. She's waving. So let's practice. Xin chào.
All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Xin chào.
Oh, okay, I think I didn't catch up. I prepared this. I know that the first time you will be a little bit shy. But so one more time, I'm gonna say xin chào and clap. So could you all, with all your might, say xin chào loud and clear? Xin chào. Okay, I think I heard something. Okay, yes, that's the energy. That's the energy we need later on. So xin chào would be hello to like almost everyone. Just say xin chào, quick and easy. Now, I would like to introduce you one more word here. You got a bạn. Bạn. With this phrase, you might have probably guessed. Bạn means friend. Bạn means friend. And when we want to say hello friend, we can say xin chào bạn. Xin chào bạn. Or a shorter version. Chào bạn. Chào bạn. Chào bạn. Now, I would like you to divide yourself in groups. in 4 groups. Yeah, I was informed that you're gonna be sitting like this. So 4 groups. Group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So let's practice now in groups. But just checking. Group 1. Could you all raise your hands? Could you all raise your hand?
All
Group
right.
1. Okay, Mr. Day, can you confirm? Can you
Yeah, so
confirm?
people on that side, yeah, on the lower floor. Okay, I think you can see them. Okay, can you see? Okay, yeah, so I'm just showing.
Okay, I think I see them. Okay, you
Yeah.
got it. Yes, correct. So that's group 1. Okay, so we're gonna practice in whole group. Each group at a time. First, I call out the group. I will clap, and you in that group, please say chào bạn. Hello, friend. Chào bạn. First up, the 4th group, coming from the 4th group. Could you all say chào bạn? Oh, that's
think
good. One.
Level 4 people, you got to be louder than that. You got to be louder than that. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so I
What
got to repeat one
language
more
are you all
time.
talking?
But
Huh?
perhaps you think you also say with them.
Yeah, I think
With
I'm
you?
gonna join them
Okay.
as well. Okay.
Oh, yes,
All right.
yes,
So which
great.
group do you
So-
want us to say?
Okay, still the 4th group.
Fourth
One more
group,
time.
okay.
And yeah, and also thank you, the 8. Please
Okay.
could you repeat? Chào bạn.
1, 2.
Yeah, they got the signal after the class.
But no, you're very
They-
enthusiastic.
they-
Okay. Level 4 people. Okay, so level 4 people, you're all on the top. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You say ciao ban together with me, all right? 1, 2, 3. Well done. Well done. Fantastic.
Well done. Fantastic. Okay. Set the bar real high right now. 4th group, set the bar real high. So,
Okay, we get you. We get you. Yes, fantastic.
set the bar real high. So now the 3rd group, over here, 3rd group, could you all say chào bạn?
So that's a group over here, right? You got to be more enthusiastic, okay, than these people over there. Let's try. All right.
Wow, okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh, very good, very good. You got representatives are very nice.
Very nice. Wow, group have done really good. Okay, so this group, of course, is the 2nd group. Now the 2nd group, can we find out the 2nd group? Okay, now I got the hang of it. I got the hang by the camera. Okay,
Okay.
the 2nd group.
Second group,
Could you all
I'm with you all. Please don't disappoint me, okay? Together we do it louder than the people on top can. All right.
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
Okay, ready? Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. My jacket almost came off. Yeah. It was very loud, by the way, Miss Cheng.
Very loud.
Yeah.
I think because of signal or something.
I think they're very excited to learn about the language. They're really screaming at the top of their lungs.
Okay. Can we? Now, I'm gonna let you in charge for this group. I think you're very dedicated in this group. Could you lead them to say chào bạn?
So you want to try again? Second,
Yeah.
this group, okay,
take it.
ready? 1, 2, 3. When you say it like that, it's like you're saying, hello, friend.
Yes, chào bạn. Well, Vietnamese, they will be very impressed. Very impressed by you.
I think
And
people-
finally,
Okay, finally, the first group. Okay, first
yeah, we're
group.
gonna have the first group. Yeah, we're gonna have the first group. Back to the first group. First group.
First group, you
One
ready?
more
First group. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yes, yes. A great applause for everyone.
Okay, a big round of applause,
Great
everybody.
for everyone.
Well
You
done.
did a very good job. Did a very good job. So that's chào bạn. Hello, friend. Chào bạn. Okay, so we don't just stop here. After ciao, we need to say another phrase. Another phrase. So these are the instances that we would use that phrase. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to look at all of these faces. Yeah, so you might guess, this is when we say thanks, but thanks, that's English. We study Vietnamese. Okay. So Vietnamese for thanks, that would be cảm ơn, cảm ơn. Cảm ơn would be general thanks for when someone holding the door for you, someone give you a gift. We would say cảm ơn. So now, as promised, this is a very interactive session. So I would like you to say cảm ơn to yourself. I will give more time here if you run out after 30 seconds. So you got a lot of thanks to do yourself. Just thank yourself.
All right.
30 seconds of saying cảm ơn to yourself.
Okay, so Miss Chang has said you have to say thank you to yourself, okay? All right? Really just say to yourself. I don't have to shout. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Cảm ơn. Right? Together with me, okay, everybody? 1, 2, 3.
Cảm ơn, cảm ơn. Thank yourself. Cảm ơn. Think of the times when you study very hard. Think of the times that you tried your best in helping other people. Yeah, that's what thank for yourself. Cảm ơn chứ không thank in general. Cảm ơn, cảm ơn, cảm ơn. I hope that you got cảm ơn from yourself. What about when we try to complain? We have that rule. We put the word and then we combine another word. The word frame, we already got it from earlier. That would be back. So when you find the frame, you would say cảm ơn bạn, cảm ơn bạn, cảm ơn bạn. Now let's practice thanking some friends. I'm going to give you some seconds to thanking friends next to you. Just say cảm ơn bạn to them. The friends on your left, on your right, behind, in front. Just thank them all. Just say cảm ơn bạn to them within 20 seconds. 20
Okay.
seconds.
So just look to your left or look to your right and let's practice this together. Okay, everybody? Let's say 1, 2, 3. Cảm ơn bạn.
Bạn. Yes. Cảm ơn bạn. Cảm ơn bạn.
Miss Cheng, I think this cohort here, they like to practice all together. You all like to say it together, correct or not? Yeah, okay. So everybody, okay, we're gonna say cảm ơn bạn, which is say thank you, friend. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Brother, you are solid. I like. Very good. Very good.
So over there, that is the day you see any other group that has the potential to repeat cảm ơn bạn.
So you want us to say it again? I think they've practiced this. Thank you, friend. And we've got very passionate people here as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I'm very far away all from Vietnam. I could not see you very clear. So I will have to depend on you today. Awesome.
Are you able to see us on the screen? Because we got a camera showing the audience. I'm here, right here. Yeah.
Yeah. You are like my pinky. This first part of my pinky.
Yeah, we look very tiny. I'm pretty sure that.
I can see you.
Yeah.
You raise the hand. So now, could you today try to demonstrate cảm ơn bạn to all of them? Cảm ơn bạn.
Okay. Okay, everybody. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3. Cảm ơn bạn. Good job. Well done.
Good job. Alright, so let's move on to the summary. So far, we have studied chào bạn, hello friend, hi friend, We have also studied cảm ơn bạn. So when you want to thank someone, you are very grateful for their help and assistance, you say cảm ơn bạn. So we have hello friend and thank friend. And you have guessed the next one would be how to say apology, how to say sorry to the person. We all have moments when we need to apologize. And the Vietnamese word for saying sorry would be xin lỗi. Xin lỗi. Xin lỗi. Xin lỗi. Now, let's practice. When you want to apologize to a friend, when we want to apologize to a friend, but before that, I would like to bring up a table here. Thank and sorry, just to get you to get the pattern. When you want to say thank in general, we say cảm ơn. You can say it to anyone, cảm ơn. But when you want to say thank to specifically a friend, you can say cảm ơn bạn. Cảm ơn bạn. Right now, we just studied xin lỗi or sorry. So now my question is, how do you apologize specifically to a friend? Apologize to a friend. This time, I would like to invite a volunteer. A volunteer. Can anybody guess how
Okay.
to say sorry friend? Sorry
Yes.
friend in
Okay.
Vietnamese.
There is somebody who is so enthusiastic. Okay, let's give him a big round of applause. Some people on the top there. Can we get a student volunteer? Okay. You got a microphone. Don't shout in the microphone now. Okay.
Xin lỗi bạn à?
Sorry. Can you say that again, please?
Xin lỗi bạn.
Sin Loi Ban. Correct.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Well
okay.
done.
May I know your name? Xin chào. Xin chào.
Danish.
May I know your name?
Danish.
His name is, can you see him?
Danish. Danish.
Danish. Danish. So, cảm ơn Danish. You got it correct. Cảm ơn Danish. You got it correct. It is xin lỗi bạn.
Okay, let's give Danish a big round of applause. Thank you, Danish. Solid, man.
Good. So that's xin lỗi bạn. Sorry, friend. Cảm ơn Danish. Danish nha. So we move on. We're gonna move on to the whole section here. Whole section. Me. No, I mean the word for I. The word for I. So the word for I in Vietnamese is me. Me. Alright, so me. I think you need 10 seconds to practice this one. Me today, you also there again. Help them to say me in 10 seconds. Just lightly repeat it. You don't have to shout this time. Just say me to yourself. Me. I. Me. 10 seconds.
All right.
Start. Now.
All right, just practice saying min,
Me.
min,
Me. Me.
min.
Me. Me. Sounds a little bit like me, right? Me. Yeah. Me. Now, you got me. The reason why I use me, we know later on. Now, let's take a look at the final table of thank and sorry. Different forms of saying thank and sorry. We say thank, we have general cảm ơn. We also have cảm ơn bạn. And if you want to emphasize that you would like to thank them, emphasize, I would like to thank you. It would be mình cảm ơn bạn. Similar thing with sorry. When we are to apologize, we say xin lỗi. We want to apologize to a specific friend. We say xin lỗi bạn. And finally, when we want to emphasize that I would like to say sorry. I would like to say sorry. We say mình xin lỗi bạn. Mình xin lỗi bạn. So that's a wrap up on cảm ơn and xin lỗi. Cảm ơn, xin lỗi. We now move on to our name introduction, and I would call this one a recipe. The recipe. In order to cook this name introduction recipe, we would need these following words. The word for name, and finally the word for to be is and. So far, we already got me. We have 2 words left. 2 words left. The word name would be tên. So now, again, this is right. Help them. They have 10 seconds to repeat tên. You have 10 seconds to repeat tên. Right? Oh, could you help them? Tên. Let's start.
All right. Let's practice this together
Tên.
and sing this together.
Tên.
10.
Tên.
10. Welcome. Please take a seat. 10.
Just join. Wow. Okay, so they got right at the name part. So tên. After then, I also would like you to repeat this word. The word is la. Here, la. With our elimination process, we now can guess that la means to be. La means to be, like and is are, la means to be. So now let's wrap it up our recipe. So that we can start cooking recipe. We got mình, we got tên, and we got là. They were mình, tên, là. Let's start it. So now, when I want to introduce myself, my name is. I would say mình tên là Trang. Mình tên là Trang. My name is Trang. Mình tên là Trang. Now, that lead us to this. We would need 3 volunteers. These volunteers will introduce their name in Vietnamese, and after introducing, they will get to choose the next person who would introduce. Yeah?
Okay.
They have to pick. So the form is: Xin chào, mình tên là.
Student volunteers, this is where we need your help. Can we have the first volunteer? You first volunteer over there, okay? Cool. All right. Let's hear you introduce your name in Vietnamese. So the person all the way at the top right there.
Mình tên là Heidi.
Can you say that again, please, so everyone can hear you loud and clear?
Xin chào, mình tên là Heidi.
Wow, let's give her a big round of applause. She not only said her name, she said hello also. Xin chào. Wow, you're catching on this really fast.
Excellent job.
All right. Hang on. Wait first, yeah? All right, can we get the next person? Where is the next person? Okay, right over there. Hang on, wait first. Okay, can we get this gentleman over here? Okay.
Xin chào, mình tên là Jerry.
There's a camera. Let's give Jerry, is that correct, Jerry? Gary, let's give Gary a big hand, everybody. Okay. Okay, Gary, now you get to choose. So Gary, now you get to choose somebody. Choose somebody. Now you get to choose somebody, Gary.
He chooses the teacher.
All right, okay, so
Xin chào mình tên là Letitia.
Letitia, well done, Letitia.
Cảm ơn Letitia. Well done, well done, well done. Bravo, bravo. A round of applause for everyone. This is very good job. Very good job, very good job. So this leads us to our summary. Today we study how to say Vietnamese, different forms of saying hello. Xin chào, xin chào, good job, hello. Next we also learn how to say thanks. Cảm ơn, cảm ơn. And of course, we have to learn how to say xin lỗi, xin lỗi. And finally, we got a sentence to introduce ourselves, which is mình tên là, mình tên là, my name is. So before I hand this one back to the host, the wonderful host, I would like to say a few words. I hope that you guys will have a wonderful event, a successful event, and you will be and have learned a lot of useful things regarding Vietnam, the country, and also Vietnamese language. And these are my final words. I would like to say hẹn gặp lại, cảm ơn và hẹn gặp lại.
Bye bye. All right, let's give Miss Cheng a big round of applause, everybody. All right. Now, in her language, in Vietnamese, can we all say thank you to her in Vietnamese? 1, 2, 3. Cảm ơn. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, before we wrap up this language session, I just want to quickly wrap up with you, okay? What is hello in Vietnamese? Together, 1, 2, 3.
Arigato.
Xin chào. What is hello, friend, in Vietnamese? Xin chào. Fine. All right. What is thank you in Vietnamese? Thank you. Not come on, huh? Cảm ơn. 1, 2, 3. What is sorry in Vietnamese? 1, 2, 3. Xin lỗi. All right. This one, I think you can all say together. Okay. So there's going to be like 600 people saying different things. What is my name is in Vietnamese? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're not paying attention just now, huh? My name is Minh Thân La. Okay. Then after that, followed by your name. 1, 2, 3. Minh Thân La. All right. Okay.
Everyone has a different name.
Are they saying all that correctly? All right. Okay. Before we end this language session, once again, everybody, because since Miss Cheng is still here, can we all give her a wonderful, big round of applause for joining us all the way from Vietnam? They're all clapping very loudly for you. Okay, I hope you had a good session of a quick introduction about Vietnam, because just to share with you as well, right before the pandemic, okay, back in 2019, I spent about 2 weeks in Vietnam. So I was in Ho Chi Minh, I flew into Hanoi, and then I went to Sapa, which is like a mountainous area in Vietnam. And then I went back to Hanoi, and I spent a few nights in Ha Long Bay before I took a domestic flight down to Ho Chi Minh City and spent the rest of the days there. Just a quick hand, how many of you here are interested to visit Vietnam right after this morning that we spoke about? Just a show of hands. Vietnam. No? How many of you are keen to travel to Vietnam? Show of hands. Okay, good. All right, this next question has got to do with your next segment of the program. How many of you are keen to do an internship or maybe perhaps consider working in Vietnam? Raise up your hands. Have you heard about Vietnam? I'm pretty sure you do, right? All right, just to share with you, Vietnam is one of the rising powerhouse, or they call the tiger of Southeast Asia. It is an emerging economy in Vietnam. You'll be very surprised that in Vietnam, the major population of Vietnamese there are between 20 years old to 35 years old. So you'll see a lot of enterprises that are being set up there that are young, that are run by young people. So if you are very interested in things like the cafe culture, Vietnam has it way better than Singapore. You can Google it yourself. You can research about the cafes in Vietnam. All right, they're much more hip, they're much more cooler, and there are much more varieties that you can find in Vietnam. In terms of the food as well, it is very unique to Vietnam, the street foods there, as Miss Catherine has shared. And also in Vietnam, a lot of people are starting to learn English and they can speak English very well. And I think for the next segment which we have, which is the Business and Society Forum, it is something that we want to bring across to you, people from the industry, people who have experience working in Vietnam, as well as working in Vietnam, to share their experiences with you. That's what's happening right after this. But before that, I would like to welcome back to you your MC. Give it up for Benjamin Liao.
All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, can we give Miss Trang a big round of applause? And for the final time, can everybody say, come on? 1, 2, 3. Alamak, that one's so soft, louder lah. One more time, TP. 1, 2, 3. Oh, loud. There's one guy there, very loud. I love it. Okay, so again, big thank you. And everybody, she can see you. So please wave goodbye, TP. Thank you so much, Miss Trang. And of course, as what Zaid has mentioned, we will be moving on to something that's more business related. But before we go there, or with a friend practicing the language and post it on Padlet, we do want to see that. And I believe there's actually vouchers if you do so, if I'm not wrong. They're not correcting me. Oh, no vouchers. Oh, so too bad. No vouchers this time. Okay, so just QR code that we want to see. Okay, hashtag whatever, and we want to see you practicing hello, for example. Okay, if you remember. My name is as well, if you remember that one. And thank you. Pretty sure, thank you, very easy lah. Come on, yeah. Okay, and again, you know, we'll give you about maybe a minute more just to scan that QR code. I'm not going to plug you. Just scan that QR code if you want to practice it. Upload it on Padlet. You know, you can just do it with the friend beside you. You know, just force the friend to say something. Upload it on Padlet. We'll be able to see it. And yeah, that's what we want to know. We want to see you practicing that language, maybe about 30 more seconds more, and we're just going to let you practice it. So go ahead, TP, practice that. Again, you learn a couple of powerful phrases. These are the phrases, by the way, I need to let you know, you're not going to just, learn and forget. You will also have a chance to use it during the IHL exchange later. So you will have a chance to meet Vietnamese students, get a chance to practice those Vietnamese phrases you've learned, okay? So go ahead and video it. Video yourself doing that. All right, I'm told we got about a minute more and before we begin. All right? Oh, this person good sleep. What are you? Hello, 2023, Happy New Year. That one also, wow. I can see, if only there was a camera that can zoom in. I'm telling you from my view, this person sleeps like this. Oh, sure, huh? Okay. In any case, VR booking session. That's when you can really lie down and immerse yourself in the gadget. Scan the QR code, all right? And if you're interested, again, there are many venues, you know, listed on the form, but there's only one true venue later on. So just go ahead, scan that QR code. We hope to see you for the VR session. I believe we got very, very limited slots left. So please, if you're interested, you're going to put on the headset, you're going to be immersed in the whole of experience of Vietnam. And that's what we hope you go ahead and you know, scan the QR code for. It's all about that VR session. Okay, so again, where is it? Function room outside TCC, EN32-3-7/1. So that's where you can find the VR. So we're going to go into something that's a little bit more serious. And as I had said earlier, it's all about the opportunities, the businesses. And for those of you, if you have a mindset to venture outside of Singapore, you can always consider Vietnam as one of the destination. Now, we not only will have just you learning, we will have speakers as well. Some of them are actually in here with us today, and some are also virtually with you today as well. So again, this is the part that, later on, there will be some chances for you to ask questions, and we do hope to hear your questions, and hopefully the speakers will also give you an answer that you're looking for as well. So this will be your Business and Society Forum. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we will kickstart this Business and Society Forum. It's where you're going to learn more about Vietnam and the various opportunities that can be offered to you. And very importantly as well, we do have the people here to share with you. Now, without further ado, we're going to bring back your tour manager of the day, ladies and gentlemen. But before that, we got a break for you. I am told we have to give you a break because some of you, as you can mention, you're in another dimension. So we're going to give you a break again. Same thing, you hear the bell, please come back here. And again, TP, this is the part where you can take your break land. Yeah, you don't have to sit if you wanna. You can actually go have your break now. So come on, TP. Please, make your way for your break time. Yeah. Otherwise, you can just sit here. Okay. In the meantime, we'll just remind you, okay, that you still have one more attendance record to take. But now we're going to go for a break first. And for those of you who haven't gone for your break yet, this is where you can go for your break first. All right. Okay, so remember, just a final reminder to all of you exiting for your break. Remember, if you hear the bell, just, make your way back to the venue. Okay?
Hi, Miss Chandler. Miss Chandler, can you hear me? Miss
Hi,
Chan-
yes.
Yes. Okay. I need you to switch on your camera cam. I want to test. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, just a moment. Don't put it off. Give us about okay, give us about 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, I think you can see me. Alamak, my head got cut off. Hello. Okay, so we will start in about 15 minutes time.
Yes.
You can relax first. In 5 minutes time, I think I prompt you, and you can start switching on your video. All right.
Okay.
Very good audio, very good video. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Miss Chang. Hey, Miss Xuan Lam. Okay, well.
So
all right, so welcome back to Temasek Poly. We're going to be starting your next session very soon, but I think for the final time, we're just going to help some of you. Some of you have feedback that you have problem, assessing the QR code earlier. So just to let you know, when you scan that QR code, you got to skip the advertisement. That's something I just got to let you know, okay? So at this point of time, early on, you learn about the country, and then you learn about the language. This time, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to learn about opportunities. You're also going to learn about how Vietnam has transformed itself in today's world. Of course, that will be part of your Business and Society Forum. As mentioned before you went for your break, we do encourage you to form questions in your head because we do have speakers that are on site today here at TP with you. We'll also have a speaker that's situated in Vietnam that will also be addressing you in this Business and Society Forum. Okay, so of course, TP, I hope you're ready for this one. And of course, to start the Business and Society Forum, allow me to bring back your country tour manager. TP, let's wake you up. Please give a big round of applause. Bring back Zayed Hashim.
thank you very much, Benjamin. All right, Temasek Poly, we've come to the segment where I think you guys are much more keen to learn more about Vietnam. We have, as Benjamin has mentioned, we have speakers joining us on site here at Temasek Poly. We're very happy and honored to have you joining us as well. We also have one speaker joining us all the way from Vietnam. So let me share with you a little bit about what today's forum is all about. The title is creating a futuristic ASEAN in the technology and startups and innovation space in Vietnam. So digitalization is said to be a mega trend of the future, but the pandemic has accelerated its impact. The dynamic Vietnam has managed to ride on the digital wave to accelerate its path, the next digital powerhouse in Southeast Asia. Though a late bloomer in the arena of technology startup, Vietnam's aggressive catch-up rise is too impressive to miss. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Business and Society Forum is designed for you to find out more about upcoming opportunities, understanding what Singaporean youth should do to seize the opportunities and start thinking about your future. We have our first speaker of today, Mr. Joe Tan, joining us. Mr. Joe Tan, please welcome Mr. Joe Tan, everybody up on stage. Mr. Joe Tan is the Executive Vice President of SingViet Impact Ventures, a registered not-for-profit business association that helps small and medium enterprises from Singapore and Vietnam to enter both markets. Also joining us in Temasek Poly, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ms. Michelle Ng. Ms. Michelle Ng is the Head of Environmental, Social, and Governance and Director of Sustainable Impact Accelerator at Quest Ventures, a top venture capital firm in Asia. Michelle's portfolio includes key markets in Southeast Asia, such as Vietnam, as well as emerging Asia. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I've shared with you, we have one speaker joining us all the way from the Philippines. Please give it up for Ms. Suyen Lee.
Hi, everyone.
So Ms. Suyen Lee is joining us digitally from Vietnam. She is an office and legal manager of Digitex, a business process outsourcing and digital provider that is headquartered in Vietnam and provides data extraction of various document types in more than 30 languages by leveraging technologies such as AI, deep learning, big data analytics, and computer vision. All right, so the Business and Society Forum is created for you, folks. So please let us know what topic you would like our guest speakers to talk about today. So what we've done is we've done a survey and we've learned and found out from you that the questions usually fall under 3 categories. All right, so the categories are industry opportunities, career opportunities, as well as the realities of living and working overseas. So how this forum will work, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So we're going to flash the QR code on the screen, all right? So the first topic we're going to speak about is industry opportunities. We'll allow you to vote for the questions you want the speakers to answer. So in that way, we want to engage with you. We want to find out from you what are the questions you want the speakers to address. All right, we have the first question of today is latest industry trend. What are the latest exciting industry trends and developments in Vietnam? Please give relatable examples. Latest industry trend. I believe the question, I think, Ms. Suyen Lee, are you able to share with us a bit more about this question?
Yes, sure. Hi, everyone. So, hello from Vietnam. So, a little bit pity because today I cannot join you offline. I have to join here, sit in my office online. So, directly to the question, the latest industry trend today in Vietnam, I can say the first is about platform and e-commerce. So, according to a recent market survey, the online shopping is increased by 20% in 2022. So that indicating that the growing number of consumers are shifting their consumption patterns. For instance, here in Vietnam, the highest consumption is in food, beverage, fashion, and stationery. And the second chance is that the digital financial service, including cash payment, remain the mode choice of Vietnam, but right now it's changed. So right now, you go to Vietnam, for instance, you can easily pay without cash. And another thing is the online gaming. So Vietnam also a really interesting, how to say, place for online gaming because Vietnam gaming industry has witnessed a surge of demand in 2022. So the e-sport market is, for instance, has grown like 30% in the last 2 years. So for me, that three main trends gonna have, how to say, the latest industry trend in Vietnam.
Well, I heard you mentioning something about cashless payments. How long ago has that been, been in Vietnam? Has it been recent or has it been a few years?
A few years ago, like at the moment in Vietnam, we have some kind of platform, for instance, Momo or Zalo Pay, or even like Shopee. Right now, they also use cashless to for the industry. So recently, especially 3 or 4 years ago, we started here in Vietnam, and now it's become more and more popular.
Just curious though, okay, so for example, in Vietnam, there's a lot of street vendors, right? So there's a lot of like vendors selling street foods. Do they accept cashless payments as well, or is cash preferred?
Yes. So right now they have a small barcode. You can scan, you can pay whatever via Momo, or even when they don't have the barcode, you can transfer the money.
Oh, that sounds
easier.
fantastic. Wow. Okay. And how does maybe the older generations we'll be talking about, will they usually use this technology as well, or is this more suitable for the younger generation?
It's gonna be suitable for the younger generation for sure. For instance, my parents, 60, 70 years old, they don't like it at all because it's so complicated for them. But yes, for the young, absolutely a really good solution.
Well, that's interesting because I think in Singapore as well, we're moving together with the times, and we have lots of digital payment systems. For example, we have PayNow, we have PayMa, we have various methods of payment. All right, let's go on to our next question. For this category, we have is regarding career opportunities for Singaporean youths. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you remember earlier on I asked you about how many of you are keen to explore opportunities in Vietnam, be it internships, be it exploring your businesses in Vietnam. All right, so let's have you to vote for the questions. So some of you are voting for internships. Let's maybe give like another 30 seconds for them to vote. All right, okay, so I think lots of you are very keen to learn more about internships. So what are internship opportunities for Singaporean students in Vietnam, and what are reliable websites or recruitment companies that Singaporean youths can look up for internship opportunities in Vietnam? For this question, I would like to invite Ms. Michelle Ng, please, to address this question.
Thank you. So everyone, maybe just setting a bit of context, I'm from Quest Ventures, venture capital that invests in early stage startups. So we have 100+ portfolio companies, and these are opportunities for internship apart from our own firm. So I would say that in terms of getting internship in Vietnam or even in the rest of Southeast Asia, what you can look at is perhaps on the actual careers page of all the venture capital who have made investments into their different portfolio companies. And apart from that, tech media such as Tech in Asia, E27, they do have a job listing for startups, for accelerators, incubators, and sometimes even like VC firms. So what you can do is to refer to all these opportunities, apply according to the instructions. And if you already know some of your friends who have been interning, do get them to share some information, make the connection. It's easier for you to get that opportunity for at least the first interview when you actually have a warm introduction. So I think that's something that you can look at. But apart from this, the Singapore government also have this website called the Startup SG website. Basically, they have different types of resources available. You can look at the tech talent events that they are hosting for next year already. I think there is this information up there on the resource page, and you can go for all these different types of events to do networking, to understand more about startups, meet the founders, or even like the hiring managers who are stationed there. I think that gives you a better idea what you're signing up for, and also the opportunities to be posted overseas.
Thank you very much, Ms. Michelle. Can I just ask you a question, because we're on this topic of internships, right? So you just shared a little bit about where they can look for their internship opportunities. Would you be able to share what kind of environment can they expect if they are to explore internships in Vietnam?
I think in terms of internship in Vietnam, it shouldn't be too different if you are interning in a Singapore company who is in Vietnam. But if you're interning in a Vietnam company, then expect some culture differences in terms of communication style, type of management style. And I think you're also expected to understand more about the company, what they actually do, and how you actually hang out with your colleagues after work. So I think in Vietnam itself, I would say that they are a little bit more informal, a bit more casual. So like my analysts all my analysts who are posted over there, they do a lot of coffee, meals and drinks, meet up with the different founders, the different VCs, analysts and associates. And that's how we actually get work done. So it's very different, especially when it comes to communication as well. We do a lot of emails over here, but they do Zalo, WhatsApp better. So how you facilitate this type of progress in your work, I think that's a little bit of difference over there. But I think they use you like a full-timer. So don't be too shocked if you get a lot of workload and it's very, very empowered to make some decisions.
I think that's good if they use you as a full-timer, because you get to learn a lot more. You get to experience more. You mentioned something about communication. I'm just curious though, will language be a barrier? Because will the students be required to know little maybe Vietnamese to communicate with the colleagues there, or how will they be able to speak in English?
So far, I think there is not so much difficulty on our end, because as a VC, we deal with those VietQs. So basically, they return from the US, Europe, and they start their own businesses in Vietnam. And also those VCs over there, they communicate very well in English. But of course, if there will be bound to be language barrier for some of the founders that we met. But I think the key to it is to speak very, very slowly. If you realize that they couldn't keep up with your speed, because Singaporeans speak very fast. Like it's something.
Yeah, we definitely do speak
Yes,
very
yes.
fast.
Yeah, so I think in order to facilitate better communication, getting your message across, speak a little slower, and before you meet them, maybe you want to let them know that you'll be communicating in English primarily, and get them to find someone to tag along who would be able to communicate with you in English, make the translation.
Thank you very much, Ms. Michelle. Okay, I think we can go on to the next question. And the next question is the category relating to the realities of living and working overseas. Okay, so let's have you to whip out your phones to check out Slido once again, and we want to find out from you what are the questions you want our speakers to address. Well, a lot of you are voting for the pros and cons of living and working overseas. And the question is, what is the biggest advantages for a Singaporean youth to gain work experience in Vietnam? And what is one of the biggest disadvantage? Now, I know a gentleman here joining us up on the stage. We've had the opportunity to have Mr. Joe Tan for a previous GSVT. We want to thank him once again for joining us. I think, Mr. Joe Tan, you've been working in Vietnam. You've had, a series of businesses in Vietnam. Would you be able to share with us and address this question?
Sure. Okay, so it's good to see Miss Liu as well. I think she's more experienced than me because she's Vietnamese staying in Vietnam. So I'm going to use the Singapore's perspective. But I think before we start, can I just have a poll? How many of you guys have been to Vietnam already? Just put your hands up. Okay, so it's a small population, right? Okay, then the next question is, how many of you are really thinking about trying to go to Vietnam to do work or have an internship there? Okay, then my next question is this. If there's an internship opportunity in Europe or US, would you be interested? I see, okay. So I think this is just generally the straw poll that I always ask when I speak, right? So the concern is that why? The next question I ask is why Singaporeans feel that when I have the opportunity to work in Europe and US, I'll be more keen than any country in ASEAN, right? So I think keep that in the back of your head while I start talking about my experience in Vietnam. So I've been in and out of Vietnam for about 5 years. I run several businesses in Singapore. I run a restaurant. I run an events company. I also run an app development company. I also do a sourcing company now in Vietnam. Why Vietnam? The answer is very simple. It's a growing economy, right? It's a growing space. The people, I've counted about 1,000 plus of you here, right? So imagine 1,000 plus of you represent Vietnam. About 600 of you now are youths representing the Vietnam workforce vis-a-vis Singapore, which is maybe about 20-30% now. So what's the difference to you guys now and Vietnam? Very simple. There are a lot of youthful, passionate people in Vietnam now. And what does it mean? It means that they are a lot more driven, they are a lot more passionate, and of course, they are slightly lower cost to engage to deliver outcomes. So that's the reason why as I go into Vietnam. So I've been into Vietnam close to once a month. Every month I'll be there 1 or 2 weeks to sort out my businesses there. I run a sourcing company. We bring Vietnamese products to Singapore. We help Singaporeans bring in products that's a bit cheaper. To give you context, how is working there like? I think the first question already answered, right? The cost of living there is lower. Possibly I can get maybe about 6 Vietnamese staff if I were to pay 1 Singapore local there. Just to give everybody a context on why. So why Singaporean businesses are going, why we are going is there. Second, how is Vietnam like? I think Michelle brought up a good point. A lot of Vietnamese people there are very well educated now. They study abroad, they come back to Vietnam, and they're like us now. They're going to be like us soon. So the question now is, if there's a lower cost of living and the culture is starting to evolve, people are starting to be a bit more modernized. And Ms. Lee brought up a good point. You talk about Vietnam, you think about what? Think about more dairy products, more fundamental products. But when she talk about developing spaces, Vietnam is developing in the Web3 space, guys. They are going to cashless payment, guys. Singaporean business are calling Vietnam to ask them to outsource their app development, same as I. My websites are built there now. My apps are built there now, guys. And why not Singapore? Why not you guys here? This beautiful bunch of people, passionate, strong tertiary education, going to university, becoming top graduates. But why not? Why Vietnam? So then you need to ask yourself, because they are a bit more willing, they are lower cost. So when I went there to stay, the concern for me was that there's no difference, right? Because as Singaporean, we go into Vietnam. It's the same thing as if a Vietnamese come to Singapore, what happens? We live like the culture, right? So I become a Vietnamese in short. So what's the difference? The difference is that we try to understand the communication, like what Michelle and Ms. Led said. We speak to them in different tones. Our expectation is a bit moderated. They tend to be a bit impatient when they want things to be done. But as sometimes when we ask them to follow up, they might take a while, but it's the culture. They get things done. So I think in general, my time in Vietnam for the past 4 years has always been about adjusting. But I think after you understand the delta, the opportunity cost of why I go into Vietnam vis-a-vis if I stay in Singapore, you realize that in terms of the labor that I have, that I can maximize the number of laborers that I work with, the passion that I have, the youths have there, the workforce there, the regenerative abilities of the youth there, the ability to communicate like you guys proficiently is the reason why we go into Vietnam. And I think if you want to understand the next sleeping dragon of ASEAN, think Vietnam. So for those who are still thinking or crossing that line between, oh, I want to still go to a nicer place for internship and all that stuff, I hope that this conversation will allow you to think a little bit more to see whether is Vietnam a potential opportunity for you guys, because I've been there for 5 years. I don't speak like I'm not there for as if I'm immersed. I'm speaking like how I'm speaking with the Vietnamese there now. So there's no difference. In fact, you guys are going to be the one that's going to bring more things from Vietnam to Singapore and continue to make Singapore relevant, guys. We got to make Singapore relevant. Okay? So I hope I share that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joe Tan. I hope you managed to capture the nuggets of wisdom that Mr. Joe Tan has shared. He shared a lot about the advantages of Singaporean youths when you work in Vietnam. Mr. Joe Tan, I have a question though, because you shared a lot about the advantages. What can they do to prepare themselves? Because I like the way you asked this question. How many of you want to do an internship in Europe or US? A lot of you raise up your hands. Versus how many of you want to do an internship in Vietnam? What are some of the things that they can prepare themselves and for an internship in Vietnam?
I think first thing first, we need to first understand that Vietnam is a big country, right? So I like to do a bit of geography. So for example, there's the north and south of Vietnam, right? The capital is where? Hanoi, right? Hanoi. And then the south is where everybody is very familiar, right? We call it Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City. That's where people go for holiday and, go party and stuff like that. So there's a two distinct difference in how culture works there. North of the capital is a bit more traditional, it's a bit more formal. And then in the south, it's a bit more commercial. It's more relevant to Singaporeans. So for the Singaporeans here that are sitting here, if you want a cultural change, if you want something that's a little bit different, think about the north, go up to Hanoi. So if you are going to be based in the north and the south, you must understand that Vietnam, as much as this is a country, the north and south have different forms of ways of working in communications, not drastically, but in terms of formality, in terms of how they get things done, in terms of the industry focus. North is a little bit on big industry, factories, shipping line, logistics. On the south is really small businesses, the companies that are a bit more agile, tech, esports, those are down there. So understanding that industries that are available in Vietnam helps. Then you can understand how they communicate. In the south, it's basically like Singapore, right? They're a bit more, get things done. I want to get things done, right? But in the north, it's about building relations. And what's the importance of building relations versus from you guys now and what we believe in the north is relations is the one that drives loyalty, and loyalty drives continuous business. So that to me is important as a businessman, right? But for you guys, if you want a quick and fast experience, Ho Chi Minh might be one that's more relevant to you guys. You go in, you'll be able to run in a little bit faster. I think that is important to understand that cultural difference.
Yeah, maybe I can weigh in a little bit on that. I totally agree with the difference in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Our analysts are usually placed in Ho Chi Minh City because it's culturally more similar to how Singapore works. It's more international in nature as well. More investors, venture capital based over there. I would say that if you like to prepare yourself for Vietnam, you definitely need to be very comfortable with the uncomfortable. Even though Saigon is similar, but you can expect the roads to be different. They are commuting mainly by bikes rather than your public transport. And it's cheaper. So like you can hop on a Grab bike if you feel safe enough. I mean, for me, I have been on the bikes. I only fell off once, but that's not the Grab one. So actually, it's very, very safe. And if you don't feel safe taking the Grab bike, you can try the Grab. It's very cheap to go around. It's similar to the Singapore public transport pricing. And so in terms of being comfortable with the uncomfortable, that's something that you have to deal on the lifestyle kind of basis. And also on the work basis, you have to be very comfortable with not knowing all the pieces and putting it together. I think Joe is right. Vietnamese get things done, even though they make changes here and there last minute, but at the end, it's done. Yeah, and it's done perfectly. Then the second part is to be very resilient because you are in a different country with no one that you really know or are very familiar with. Your whole community of support is not with you. Your friends are not with you. So you have to be very resilient there. You might get lonely, but try to get out there, meet new friends, build your new community of support really fast. That's the second part about being resilient. And then the third part is to be very, very open to learning. Do not be so caught up with how Singapore do things. You'll be like, Singapore is better, Singapore is faster, Singapore is cleaner. But actually, they are doing so much more things that are better. Yeah, so be very, very open, keep an open mind, and really understand the cultural differences. And if you think that Europe is very fun to travel around and you would like to intern there because you get to explore, it's the same for Vietnam. Vietnam is a very long country and it's very, very diverse. So like what you see in the south is actually very different from when you go to the central part and then you go up north. So like a lot of Singaporeans like to be in Ho Chi Minh City or like in Da Nang, Hoi An, maybe just to go for the resorts, the beaches. But then there are also like the smaller towns out there. There are quite a number of UNESCO heritage sites. You definitely have a lot to learn in terms of their history, in terms of something that's closer to home, you know, like how Southeast Asia has been developing over the few hundreds of thousands of years. I think that's something that you can look forward to. It's something that I learned from my analysts as well, because they have been calling in to check in different cities, in different towns, and like wearing like hats. It's like super fun. So don't think that just because it's Vietnam, it's closer to home, it's not as fun as Europe. It's definitely interesting. And there are a lot of cafes, coffee places, drinks places that you definitely will enjoy, but you have to check it out yourself.
Yeah, that's right. You heard it all from Mr. Joe Tan and Ms. Michelle. There's lots of exciting things to do in Vietnam. You just have yet to explore them. Now we're going to go to the next segment of the program, which is, we're going to talk about career advice. And this question is, what is one advice for the students to prepare to build a career overseas? Because let's hear from Ms. Suyen Lee, because, this is a perspective from someone from Vietnam. Ms. Suyen, are you able to share what sort of...
Yeah, sure. So as a fresh graduate, so I think everyone, when they just graduate from the school, then they have the course you already which you've been taught in school. But I mean the part which important for me is the soft skill, where you can get a job even in the first time when you meet the interviewer, and also during the time when you work at the company. So for instance, for me, when I was a student, I didn't prepare it well for the soft skills, because I just thinking that I just need to study, hard and then get a high score. But after that, I had one gap year. I mean, just to figure out what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And I realized that the flexibility is one of the key points to make you be successful at the work environment. And honestly, I think being curious about the things gonna lead you to the success, because everyone in the beginning, actually, I believe that not everyone know exactly what you want to get in a job. I mean, you study accounting, you study for engineering, you want to become an accountant or whatever. But then during the time when you join the company, you get familiar with the environment, you get familiar with the culture, then you recognize, okay, I like this job, or I don't like this job. I hate my boss, or I love him, or whatever. Then I think the thing here is that you recognize what you like and you don't like, and you gain for that. So for me, both hard skill and soft skill are important, but flexibility is the key.
Well, thank you, Ms. Yuan Lee. We're gonna go on with the next question. This question, maybe Ms. Michelle Ng could answer this question, because you built such a successful career in venture capital. Are there any points in your career that you may have faced difficulties or failures, and how do you overcome them?
So when we talk about difficulties and failures in a venture capital, it's probably when your portfolio companies are struggling. And I would say that the pandemic has proved to give us a lot of headache in terms of how our companies should pivot, whether they should change their business model or even like the entire product itself. So the whole team has been very busy helping the different companies to change their business model, growth models. And I would have to say that it's painful to see some of them go, because some of the things just cannot be changed. Yeah, and I would say that as a venture capital, it's a portfolio play. So basically, we focus on the winners, and when businesses start to be failing, then we will give a few chances for the founders to turn it around. We give them the right networks, the resources, but if it all fails, we have to concentrate our resources and networks on those who are winning. So I would say that so far, those under my care hasn't died yet, but we definitely are putting in a lot of time to help them meet the right people. So for example, maybe I can focus on the Sustainable Impact Accelerator that I run. So we invest in 8 of these companies in batch 1, and they're in the silver economy space, the edutech space, healthcare space. And we are bringing some of them to different parts of Southeast Asia, like Malaysia, Vietnam, for them to meet investors, for them to meet corporates. So basically what they do is that they get to start some pilot projects or start conversations on their next round of investments. So that would be like outcomes of success that we drive. But of course, for those that are not willing to step out, then that's where the challenges come, right? And for us investors, we can convince, we can try to convince, but if the founders decide that it is not for them, then there's nothing that we can do. So like basically, we just let them run the business. If it succeeds, then well, but if you don't succeed, then I think it's just, I told you so.
Yeah, like you said, as long as nobody dies, the rest, right? Okay. Well, we have one last question of career advice, and I think Mr. Joe Tan, if you could answer this question. You're a very busy man, because for us to get you for rehearsals and, you in flying in and out of Vietnam to Singapore, how do you maintain, work-life balance in your personal life? If you could share with us.
Okay, so the things this heartfelt conversation now I have, heart to heart with you guys. Okay, so just to give context, I have a dog, I have 2 sons. I've got a lot of bills to pay. And I have 3 businesses that I run. I think what is important is a supportive structure. I think my wife is extremely understanding, and my dog as well, sometimes. Yeah, so I think the reason why I shifted to Vietnam, maybe I share with them why I shifted to Vietnam and how actually it might give them a good advice, was because I was driven by increased costs, increased staff issues. In Singapore, I have problem hiring staff for the longer term, especially when I run F&B. I have a lot of students. I have a lot of students working for my restaurants. It's just that unfortunately they work for 6 months and 8 months they move on. So I can't get to find permanent fixtures, so I had to move. A lot of production got a little bit more expensive. And then I saw an opportunity in Vietnam as I was mentoring and speaking to a lot of ASEAN leaders. So I think that's the reason why I went there. Moving there also means that I'm able to find that structural balance having good partners in Singapore. So I don't run business on my own. I run by building strong teams. So basically, when I'm away, my team runs it for me. And I think for all you guys, for those who are looking to be entrepreneurs next time, never think that a business is managed only by you and can only be run by you. You need to build good teams, and good teams run it for you. And that's why I'm here now talking to you guys while my team in Vietnam is working and my team in Singapore are working as well. So I think for those of you guys who want to do that goal, I think I also want to add on to one important career advice for you guys, because you guys are students, you guys have boundless opportunity, energies. I think what is important that I always share when I speak to youths and students is that we got to start thinking about moving out of Singapore as an option for your career development. I say it with absolute hard truth as a business owner that I can't find proper Singaporeans that are willing to work longer for me for a certain amount of salary, and now we're outsourcing overseas. And the problem that I face is that if you guys don't try to go overseas and try to experience it, we might lose our competitive advantage as Singapore. Because what's our natural resources? Human beings, right? And if let's say people in a country like Vietnam can offer the alternative, people in China can offer the alternative, I worry for us. Okay, so think about it as you move along. Think about understanding that Singapore is not just Singapore. Singapore is ASEAN. And if you can put a marker in and drop a Singapore flag in any countries in ASEAN, be it Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, I think you guys are doing the whole nation a big favor and yourself a big favor to make sure that you continue to stay relevant, you have a good paying job in the future, and then you can build your structure base from the ASEAN states.
Thank you, Mr. Joe Tan. That was very heartfelt, very endearing to know that your dog is also very supportive of you. Okay, I think we can go with any questions from the audience. Just let's flash the Slido up on the screen for you to ask questions. I think we have one time for one question. Do we have a slide for the questions? No, okay. All right. The speakers have shared a lot, but I think this is an opportunity for you as well. If you have any questions, while Mr. Joe Tan is here, while Ms. Michelle Ng is here, while Ms. Yuan Lee is here, for you to ask questions. We have the student helpers with the microphones. Just raise up your hand, and then we'll come to you with the questions. Anyone with any question? You all got no questions, huh?
Yeah, the gentleman in yellow. Yeah, come.
Do we have one? Yeah.
Come ask questions. I think this is
Let's give him a big round of applause as well.
I think it's important because this is the forum that you guys have to be candid about, right?
Can we get a microphone to him? Thank you so much. Just introduce yourself and you can ask your question. Yeah, you can use my microphone.
Oh yeah, so I want to ask, so you as a father right now, do you actually bring your kids to study in Vietnam?
Okay, so my kids is 2.5 years old and 4 months old now.
Oh,
yeah. So
but are you planning to bring them to study in Vietnam?
Yes. Okay. So I think it's a good question. So a lot of my Vietnamese. Okay. So again, perspective for everybody. Yeah. So many years ago, a lot of Vietnamese people will bring, and also ASEAN people will bring their kids, right, from their country to Singapore and study international school, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's reversed now.
Oh, yeah.
So there are a lot of international schools now based in Vietnam and in different countries. So a lot of Singaporeans that I know of are considering bringing their children to be based in Vietnam and sending them to international colleges and schools then. So yes, I do have that consideration.
Oh, hey, but I mean, I also want to know the price. Yeah.
Okay, not there yet. I will let you know once my son turns to the right age. But I think it's quite competitive. Okay, good question though. Okay, so I'm very excited to share. Okay, so I ask you, you guys drink bubble tea or not? No. Okay. So for those who drink bubble tea, How much is a bubble tea in Singapore? Maybe about 450.
Too expensive.
Too expensive, right? Okay, so thanks for the question. Thanks. I want to give you a perspective on the standard of living and cost of living. Okay, so to just take away, the typical bubble tea in Singapore costs maybe about 450. Guess how much is a bubble tea in Vietnam? How much? Okay, I start first. $5. Singapore dollars, $4, $3, $2, $1. Gentlemen, you know what's the, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's the answer? It's $3.50, 1 cup of bubble tea in Vietnam. And so I put in perspective now, how much is my labor cost again in Vietnam? 8 times lesser than you guys. 8 times, guys. And I'm paying $350 for bubble tea. As a businessman, would you want to go to Vietnam? Okay, think about it. So now internship, a lot of sign up really. You want to go to Vietnam, test the bubble tea, how much? The food quality, the food people can spend. That's why when they ask the education question, people can spend for education, people can spend for food. But yet the labor market remains competitive. Go have a look. My takeaway to you guys.
Very, very good point by Mr. Joe Tan. You know, if I were you, I want to ask a question like this. How much of a salary can I expect when I do my internships in Vietnam? Have you all ever wondered, right? Where do I live when I'm, working in Vietnam? Do I stay in a company provided accommodation, or do I have to look for, accommodations of my own? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's forum. Yes, thank you very much. Let's give all our speakers a big round of applause. And also to Miss Suyen Lee joining us from Vietnam. You know, one thing I didn't realize is we are all color coordinated. Yeah, Monday blues. Yeah, we're all wearing blue today. Very nice as well. Before we wrap up this forum, I would like to invite Mr. Teo C. Cheng, Director of International Relations Department at Temasek Polytechnic, to present a token of appreciation to our guest speaker, Mr. Joe Tan and Ms. Michelle. Thank you, Ms. Michelle. And a token of appreciation as well to Mr. Joe Tan. Thank you very much. As well as to Ms. Suyen Lee, we will be sending to you your token of appreciation via Korea. So you'll be receiving it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for all our speakers today. Thank you very much. I hope you had a fruitful forum and you managed to take away some interesting words of wisdom from our speakers. But I know I am standing in between the next most important segment of your program today. What's happening after this? After this? All right, so we have our MC once again to tell you more about lunch. Please give it up for Mr. Benjamin Liao.
All right, so once again, TP, can we give the speakers another big round of applause, please? Thank you so much. And really, for those of you who are interested in bubble tea, I think just when I went over to Vietnam the other day, you can check this out. I think it's called Tre Soa Vi Cha. It's very cute, no? You order bubble tea, they give you this puck-shaped jelly that's complimentary as well. When I heard of bubble tea, I thought about that when I went over the other time. So again, we are going for lunch very soon, but I am supposed to tell you how to prepare for the afternoon session, because we will not be seeing you back here. We will be seeing you in your individual classrooms that you are assigned to. So I'm supposed to tell you how to do that. So after lunch, the program will continue in a different location. Do check the afternoon classroom now by logging in Polite Mall. Okay, so when you go into Polite Mall, you'll see the GS Trips Flex Week 1 And then afterwards, you see GSVT, country day, and classroom allocation. So now, can you please do that so that you'll know which classroom to go to? Okay. So about your lunch, all meals are halal certified. They'll be packed into bento boxes at food stations in TCC foyer. And when you reach the foyer, queue in an orderly manner in any food station. Now, if you're vegetarian, do tell the staff at the food station that you will require a vegetarian meal. Okay, and we're going to tell you what you're going to be eating. So there will be whole grain yang chow fried rice, Vietnamese lemongrass chicken, grilled fish fillet with ginger and spring onion, and there'll be spring roll and assorted mixed vegetable. We have to let you know about the common allergens that's present. So, you know, if you're allergic to egg, fish, you got to let us know, okay? Because we're letting you know now that these are over there. If you don't like spring onion, then just pass it to your friend. Okay, so that's going to be the lunch. Now, don't go for the lunch yet because this is how we're going to let you go. Now, earlier on, I think one of the staff from TP did say that the lower section will go for lunch first. So it is true. So the people sitting on this section over here, 1 and 2, you will actually go first. So people on this side and people in the middle, you can actually be the first to go. Okay, so please go, lunch. Okay, yeah, just go for lunch. Okay, so you will have to go to the TCC foyer to get your lunch. So 1 and 2, I'm just gonna get you there. All right, don't forget your things because again, I gotta repeat, you will not be coming back to this place. So please don't put your belongings here. Bring them along, and remember to log into Polite Mall to see which classroom you have been allocated to. Okay. So I think we can have 3 as well. I think 3 on that side. So you can also just, you know, come now for lunch. So people on the right, come for lunch. So again, just a general reminder, please don't have your belongings here. We will not be seeing you here. We will see you in the screens of your allocated classroom. So you will see Zai later on, you see myself later on as well. We will be on your screens in the classroom, okay? So again, just a general reminder, please don't leave any of your belongings here, all right? So again, why are we just doing this in segments? Because there's no point to rush, because you still have to queue for the food later on, okay? So that's what I have to tell you. So, you know, can just sit here and enjoy the aircon first. We'll just dismiss the lower level. And the upper level now, it's your turn. So for the upper level, please make your way for lunch as well. Go to the nearest exit. The people of the lanyard will point to you. But the people on top, you may now also go for lunch. Okay? So just again, do it in an orderly fashion. And as you're making your way, remember, if you're vegetarian, please tell us you're vegetarian. We can't look at you and guess that you're vegetarian. So please let us know. You got to let the people at the food station know, yeah? We can't tell that you're vegetarian, so please let us know that you're vegetarian. And if you're allergic to egg or fish, let us know as well. If you're allergic to whole grain, I have no idea. Just let them know and, you know, you don't eat rice now or bread. Okay, so at this point of time, everyone in the venue, you should be slowly making your way to lunch. We'll also be making our way for lunch as well. But we're just going to make sure that everybody's exiting. All right, so again, TP, we'll see you. And the next time you see us, we will be appearing on your screens in the allocated classroom. We'll see you. And again, don't forget to bring your items with you. Remember, we will not be seeing you back here. We will be seeing you in your allocated classroom. So thank you, TP, and we'll see you right after lunch.